Program 994 coming at you. We're going to cover the week leading up to and including the Christmas holiday. Wonderful pagan celebration. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, there's a lot happening, and it's not a normal Christmas kind of thing, and I'm going to fill you in. So the more you know about it, the more fun you allow yourself to have. That's the way it goes. If I was rich and had lots of money, I would buy everybody an Apple iPhone and the app, yes, which you get at skymirrorastrology.com. And press of a button, you got the chart of now, and you are on the path to a PhD in astrology. I mean, that's the best thing you could give anybody, and especially this Christmas, because Uranus is stopping. It's stopping and stationing on Christmas. Oh boy, Uranus is a strange character. It rolls along on its side, not like the other planets dancing around like, ice skaters. Uranus points its head in towards the Earth and rolls along, and it's got electrical snaps, and it's a kind of a electric green psychedelic color. It's a rebel. It rules Aquarius. Aquariuses are like that. So you're going to feel a lot like that on Christmas. And, if you know anybody that's got an Apple product, see if you can go to skymirrorastrology.com and find out how to get the app. And turn them on. I used to buy people $25 ephemerises, but that's the long path. This is the short path. So it's going to get zappy. There could be solar flares. There could be unusual happenings. It's focused kind of strongly over here in Hawaii because this Uranus on the astrocartography map of the full moon on Christmas Day, we're having a full moon, yes, at 3 Cancer, and it puts Uranus on the 7th house. Eek, a Uranus. Eek, an Aquarius. Eek. What is this? What is it that scares you about this? Is it the immigrants, the homeless? Yeah, I think we're above that. It could be earthquakes. And on the 7th house, it could be over there on the west coast where earthquakes tend to give us tsunami warnings. Because it looks like there's a panicky feeling about this with Pluto at the bottom and Uranus on the 7th. It reminds me of sudden sirens in the middle of the night and all. You remember that? You lived in Hawaii. Yeah. So, anyway, this is not your normal Christmas. And it's with the full moon on Christmas Day, it certainly isn't. I pack it in on full moons and I don't work because I know mistakes happen and people are outside of themselves and their emotions are bigger than usual and more wobbly than usual, and we call it lunacy. It happens to everybody. We just had a whole month of it. Well, you had 3 weeks of it now when the full moon was on the USA government rising sign, and they've been having lunacy. And upshot is, we're coming out of the Neptune zone, folks. All the flooding and stuff. We're going into the Uranus zone, which has to do with, things that spin, knock out your electrical power. They're not things that Neptune creeps up. Oh, it's going to be a flood, and they always seem worse than they are. Oh, look out! It's dengue fever. Oh, look out! It's a 500-year flood. Oh, and it seems to me it's not quite as fearful as you think. Just like, eek, there's a fanatical religious Muslim over there. They're all, like the movies. They're exaggerated. Somebody's spinning them and pumping them up, and Neptune creeps up on you slowly and goes away. Uranus isn't like that. That's Pisces, see? Uranus comes up, bang, suddenly. and that's why earthquakes have a lot to do with this, and solar flares. By the way, everybody now in the business, if you go look at 3 Minute News, one of my favorites, guy studies the sun, and he's clear that, these solar flares cause earthquakes. And I've known about that for a long time. But the scientists don't. because they say the sun is a Rosetta Stone of astrophysicists, and we haven't decoded it properly. But you know, when you have a big one, it also turns out that's where the earthquakes are. Yes, I've known about this for a long time, and I've noticed it, and I've looked back historically at it to see what's going on, so if you have a solar flare, the chances of earthquakes go way up, and they also can make blackouts and overloads in your power lines and stuff. Something happened to my computer, and I'm out of computer again. It just won't start. Ika, you're on us. So, you know, it's if you got something going on, if it isn't the battery that's dead, you know, it's the plugs. Take them out, brush them off, stick them back in, and it's the connections. Uranus is real sensitive to connections. That's why he rules the internet. And, you know, tweets and all that, you know, that's all Uranus stuff. So anyway, it's going to flood your consciousness as you move up closer and closer to Christmas and to that full moon. When you'll be over emotional, and then you have Uranus station, heck, 20 days up to that, and it stations and stops and goes direct at 16 Aries. Everybody feels shaky, everybody feels alone, or there's a genius and there's a new ethic. The Mayans said that during this 20-year time, it's the end of the time of reading the Word of God, and a new idea unites humanity. Well, here's the new idea, and it unites humanity. What is this? Are we really going to Are we going to lose the polar bears because of political crap? Whoa, I don't know, man. We'll see. But my job for you here, like Ben's Almanac, is just to go through this week and give you a little heads up on when it's shaky and when it's not, and what the mood of the times is, huh? Look at here, Mars and Venus, 30 degrees. You're either lusty and horny or you're sexy and laid back, but you can't be both. So there's not too much harmony there. With the young folks in the romance, Jupiter is sextiling Venus, so you know the girls will be out here and the beautiful things. And Venus sparkles, you know, and having Jupiter sextile Venus, things that sparkle. And she's in Scorpio, it'll be black things with sparklies on them. Anyway, Saturn's still squaring Neptune, and you know, when this is off of our charts in Hawaii, the dengue will just go away. It's not in the mosquito population, folks. It's in the human population. Mosquito just picks it up and puts it over there in another person. And they only do it for a couple of weeks. Well, what else we got? Mercury's coming up to square Uranus. I got a lot of little hot spots to show you. Let's see. Here's my old raggedy ephemeris. I use this a lot. Here's November. And you see I was concerned with the flooding. And here's the hot, you know, we should say the wet spots, you know, that I picked up that, you know, the last week of November. And there's floods all over the world, and, you know, anyway, enough about doctors and dengue and floods and all that. As you move away from this, where Neptune stopped up here and extends 20 days on either side, here's Uranus stopping at Christmas in December. And Uranus extends up here and down there a bit too. Now there's a bunch of hot spots, I've marked them already, just around Christmas here, see, when it's going to get most shaky. And it goes a little into January because, you know, here's some spots up in the first week and the second week. And then all this stuff is down here. Mercury retrogrades and could be sensitive to electrical things and stuff. So this is still Aquarian problems popping up. Now, let's look at it day by day. We're going to run the moon around the edge of our planetary pattern. And as it makes angles to the various actors on the stage here, it picks up the mood of the times. And it's kind of the way you'll feel in a passing way, huh? And so we're going to run the moon around the edge, and let's see how it looks. Here it is on Thursday, and everybody's doing too much, and there's a square to the sun Thursday night, the 17th, and you're not going to get anything done. If you do, you'll overdo it and not be happy with it. But at least, you might kick back a little bit until noontime Friday when the moon shifts into Aries. And there you are in the Uranus zone, a big time. Yeah, and it starts to get shaky. And there could be solar flares, there could be power outages, there could be sudden winds. Neptune is water, Uranus is wind, it's the air sign. And, the good civil defense guys say, run from water, hide from wind. So things blowing around here can, anyway. A good time to get yourself organized about all of this is early Saturday morning. Here about 4 or 5 in the morning, there's a trine to Saturn, and you can look around the place and say, whoa, the wind is rising. What can fall down? What do I need to put away? What do I need to be prepared for some shaking or for some interruptions in my life, especially on the home front? If you're near the shoreline, what happens if there is an earthquake around and there's a tsunami warning? And I'll never forget it. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, the siren's going off, and all my neighbors are out in their pajamas loading up their SUVs to head for the hills because we're 2 blocks off the ocean. Anyway, there's that midnight panic, and I don't like the look of it. Of course, we never had a tsunami, but here you are on Saturday. And there's a shaking going on in the middle of Saturday, and there's a square to Pluto. It's a little panicky, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and none of this feels like something you want to go through very often. And there's, an opposition to Mars. The young guys aren't helping the military. We don't know what to do. How do we protect ourselves? People are angry. They're angry, yes. It goes right through Sunday morning. And then about just before lunch, finally there's a trine to the sun, and things settle down here a little bit as the moon shifts into Taurus and becomes much more earthy and practical and loving, and all the anger and the shaking hopefully is going to pass for a few days while we're in Taurus. And Monday morning, late Sunday night, Monday morning, here's a sextile to Neptune. Here's Jesus. He's the best Neptune people around. John the Baptist is pretty hot, too. Well, we're not in Neptune anymore. It's Uranus. And music and art and sensitivity and stuff is there Monday morning. Good time for music. Investigate Monday afternoon. There's a trine to Pluto. Be a good Sherlock Holmes, and you'll be glad you did. Yes. On Tuesday morning, it's a mixed bag. There's an opposition to Venus. There's no rest. There's kids are happy. They're going to wake you up early. And, that's Tuesday morning, the 22nd. You'd think that would be on Christmas Day, but no, here it is Tuesday morning. And everybody is overdoing it in a wonderful way, and they're very happy. There's a trine to Jupiter. Tuesday morning is a cool time. Really is. Just don't give them sweets. It changes about dinner time Tuesday night on the 22nd when the moon shifts into Gemini, and it gets increasingly wet and worrisome. As you go into Wednesday morning, here's the moon opposing Saturn and squaring Neptune, and here's water problems and liquid problems and insecurities, and how can we plan anything with all this going on? And so don't. Sit tight Wednesday morning. By the time you get to dinner time Wednesday, here's a sextile to Uranus. Flash, common sense comes through. The media helps, the internet helps. No, now I got this figured out. I should not fear the mosquito. The overdoing it thing with the square to Jupiter is happening Thursday morning, and that's the 24th. So you could buy too much, eat too much, spend too much here Thursday morning. Look out, by the time you get to Thursday night, the 24th, Christmas Eve, did I do right? I'm not sure, and you're up half the night, it seems. Friday morning on the 25th, there's the full moon, at 3 degrees of Cancer. And it actually trines Neptune. So Friday morning there's music. Here's glittery, flashy, wonderful Neptune stuff. It's an interlude Friday morning. And don't let your guard down, because as you go into Friday night late, here's the square to Uranus and the opposition to Pluto. And here's when Uranus stations. And this is Friday night. What happened? The electrical power got knocked down. The media got knocked down. There's strange, there's this feeling of aloneness and a powerless feeling. And suddenly different things you haven't experienced before come up. Now you're on a full moon, so the best thing you can do here Friday night is not overreact. Stick with the music and go with the dog and the cat, and they'll be panicky too. You'll see. So the panickiness is here late Friday night and early Saturday morning. And I'm just crossing my fingers these aren't sirens again, and you won't see my neighbors all running around out there early in the morning. But the potential is there, and I'm giving you clear warning that you'll be happier, if you did pack a few things away, some water, some lunches or something, and, in case there's a disruption of your life here in Hawaii for a little bit. And whatever happens Friday night, it's not, it's, yeah, enough said, huh? Now, if you get through the jitteriness and the lack of power and stuff to Saturday afternoon, the 26th, we finally have a sextile to Jupiter. People are starting to laugh. They're starting to play. There's some kids who are overly aggressive and angry here after dinner Saturday night. So you got to find something to occupy them. Don't give them a lot of sugar. It's not good for the Mars, the fires. It's like giving alcohol to an adult or somebody, Don't do that. What you're trying to do is enjoy, laugh, joke. Here's Venus. It's like midnight, late. There's sweets, there's sex, there's love. So there's a time for sparkles. Go with the young girls. Go with the happy feelings. And don't let the brothers come in and say angry things. Just, if you can't say nothing good, young men and kids, don't say nothing at all. And I'll get you through Saturday night. Sunday, the moon's in Leo. Settles down nicely. The Venus trine in the middle of the night helped a lot. So turkey, has tryptophan in it and relaxes people. So hope you had some Saturday night turkey. On Sunday, the moon in Leo is pretty good for you. It trines Saturn, after dinner here, and you're getting organized. And Monday morning, on the 28th, is the trine to Uranus. And by golly, there's some lightning bolts of enlightenment going on here. And whatever this is, I've been through so many of these things that I commonly tell people, what a hurricane does? All this terrible stuff. No, you get out and meet your neighbors. You know what happens if the power goes out for a week? Everybody has a big party because they got to eat the meat that's frozen and thawing out. So they go out and barbecue and invite you. You may not see neighbors around except in times of emergency. And this togetherness builds. Yes, builds the age of Aquarius. And could be important. Well, it will be. That's what it's about. We all got to get together and take care of our world, huh?